Welcome everybody to Read to You 365, where we read to you books about you. My name's Cristal, and I'd like to read to you today. Today's story is entitled Frog and Toad Are Friends by Arnold Lobel. But first, let's look at all the pictures. Frog and Toad Are Friends by Arnold Lobel. This is an I Can Read picture book. Frog and Toad Are Friends, copyright 1970, Arnold Lobel. This 2010 edition licensed for publication by Sandy Creek by Arranged with HarperCollins Publishers. This is Table of Contents. Spring, page 4. The story, page 16. A lost button, page 28. A swim, page 40. The letter, page 53. We will be going through this entire series of stories by Arnold Lobel. Before we go on, let's take a look at some vocabulary words. Friend, a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection. Calendar, a chart or series of pages showing the days, weeks, and months of a particular year. Trick, a mischievous, practical joke. Here's your first story. Spring. Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer. Toad! Toad! Shouted Frog. Wake up! It is spring! Blah! Said a voice from inside the house. Toad! Toad! Cried Frog. The sun is shining. The snow is melting. Wake up! I am not here, said the voice. Frog walked into the house. It was dark. All the shutters were closed. Toad, where are you? Called Frog. Go away, said the voice from a corner of the room. Toad was lying in bed. He had pulled all the covers over his head. Frog pushed Toad out of bed. He pushed him out of the house and onto the front porch. Toad blinked in the bright sun. Help! Said Toad. I cannot see anything. Don't be silly, said Frog. What you see is the clear, warm light of April. And it means that we can begin a whole new year together. Toad, think of it, said Frog. We will skip through the meadows and run through the woods and swim in the river. In the evening, we will sit right here on this front porch and count the stars. You can count them, Frog, said Toad. I will be too tired. I'm going back to bed. Toad went back into the house. He got into his bed and pulled the covers over his head again. But Toad, cried Frog, you will miss all the fun. Listen, Frog, said Toad. How long have I been asleep? You have been asleep since November, said Frog. Well then, said Toad, a little more sleep will not hurt me. Come back again and wake me up at about 8:30. Good night, Frog. But Toad, said Frog, I will be lonely until then. Toad did not answer. He had fallen asleep. Frog looked at Toad's calendar. The November page was still on top. Frog tore off the November page. He tore off the December page, and the January page, the February page, and the March page. He came to the April page. Frog tore off the April page too. Then Frog ran back to Toad's bed. Toad! Toad, wake up! It is May now. What? Said Toad. Can it be May so soon? Yes, said Frog. Look at your calendar. Toad looked at the calendar. The May page was on top. Why, it is May, said Toad, as he climbed out of bed. Then he and Frog ran outside to see how the world was looking in the spring. The end. Now it's your turn. Tell me of a time where you tricked your friend. Be sure to draw a picture, and maybe you can draw some spring flowers too. Stay tuned for our next video. We'll be reading this story about, well, the story on page 16. I love you. Thanks for watching. This is a CJT production. Copyright 2021. Cristal J Tejeda.